If a pantheon of great investors is ever to be made, one name will always found itself on the pedestal. That is Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. Not only he was an legendary investor, he was also an extraordinary human being. His belief on India was unparalleled. He had sharp instincts. His understanding of market is like nobody ever had. India will surely miss him, but we will not forget him. He has inspired a generation of stock market investors. His wisdom, his style is something which many generations will always remember. For me, it's a personal loss. I've had the pleasure of interacting with Rakesh Jhunjhunwala for nearly 2 decades now. And there was no one like him in terms of belief, in terms of compassion, his big heart attitude, and his wit and insight is something which cannot be matched. Bhaiya, I will personally miss you, and India will surely miss you. India's original folk hero of stock markets, the poster boy, the big bull, is no more. We will miss him, but we will not forget him. Any stock market investor or no stock market investor will ever forget him. His ability to take quick decisions was completely unparalleled and unmatched. He always believed in India. He was optimistic, and it was rare indeed to see an individual who was not only an astute investor but also a very smart trader. He kept it very simple, made it very obvious why and how he's investing. Even though he was in minority, he always was an original thinker. I'll say it again. It is a personal and a very big loss for me. India will miss him, but we will never forget him. In the countless interactions I've had with him, he always believed in one simple thing, which is the best of India is yet to come. During boom and bust, he never lost his instinct as a trader and his ability to look at the big picture. It was his faith, it was his ideology, it was his mean, not the goal, which made him a legend. A legend which the world has not seen, and a person who will be remembered not only as a stock market investor, but also as an extraordinary human being. It's a sad day. It's a sad day for me personally. And at ET Now, we would like to extend our condolences to his family. May his soul rest in peace. I will miss you, Bhaiya. Okay. Sunil Sangwania joins us now, Shankar Sharma and Sandeep Tandon. Sunil, it's a sad day. The legend is no more.
It is, Nikunj, completely unbelievable and very, very sad. He was called Bhaiya for a reason. Bhaiya means elder brother, and he was like an elder brother to hundreds and thousands of learners like me. Always there to help, always there to bless, always there to give the real advice. And he was the one who actually taught us that we have to be positive on India now, in the present and in the future. And as you rightly said, the country misses him, and the entire investment community will really miss him.
Shankar, the minute you say Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the image is the original folk hero of Indian stock markets, the big bull, the man who saw tomorrow, and somebody who's really made wealth by investing in the stock market. But Shankar, above that, he was also an extraordinary human being. What is your biggest memory of your interaction with Rakesh Jhunjhunwala?
Hi, Nikunj. So I landed in Mumbai, in fact, and the moment I switched on my phone this morning, the first message I saw on WhatsApp was this, and I'm just overcome by emotion. I just have no words to, because whatever you say right now will seem inadequate. So one will say the usual things, but words cannot capture what I'm feeling right now. And having known him for 25, 28 years, it just is beyond words, beyond sadness, beyond everything. And of course, as you are no doubt aware, Rakesh and I have publicly fought as in fight, but differed on views, agreed on views, and that's been the most interesting part of it, that when people engage in this very difficult profession can disagree and yet be great friends. That is the real mark of friendship and of your maturity as a human being. That views are all subjective and are very personal, but your friendships, your relationships should go much beyond that, and that is what I personally enjoyed with Rakesh. The last time I met him was at a wedding party. I think that was just prior to COVID, and and we sat, and we obviously, with Rakesh, a drink cannot be too far away. So sat and we drank, and there was a few other friends also at that area, and we were just ribbing each other. He was telling me that, bastard, you are blocking my view, because his home was coming up just behind, and Nikunj, you have been to my home, and you know where Rakesh's new home is, and it's exactly, we are just exactly opposite behind that Valkeshwar Road, and he was ribbing me that, bastard, you are blocking my view, and I was telling me, because of your construction, my home is getting completely covered with dust, and we really had a good laugh on that, and it's just too painful to even recall those moments. So yeah, Nikunj, I really am overwhelmed.
Even though I've been a professional television anchor for over 20 years now, today I'm honestly struggling with words to capture what a loss it's for all of us, not only as investors but as human beings. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, yes, he was a legend. Yes, there has never been a cheerleader like him on India, and there never will be one. But more than that, he was an extraordinary human being. His word was always his bond. His big open heart attitude was quite extraordinary. As a cub reporter, when I used to reach him out for ideas, for guidance, for mentorship, he was always available. So truly, I'm going to miss him a lot. Sandeep Tandon, it's a sad day. It's a sad day for all of us. Indian stock market has lost its legend, but I'm sure you've also lost a dear friend.
Frankly speaking, Nikunj, is a very, very sad moment for all of us. Okay, and we have very good memories of what we call him. And I think the way market knows is about the great investor and trader, wealth creator. I think what, as you rightly said, he was one of the finest human being, great guy, very helpful. Okay, I remember certain occasion where I was at shoes. Okay, he called me, come over, sit with me. And he was so transparent. He called the other party and tried to resolve some of the issues. So that was his greatness. And another important thing which I want to share in the market, Rakesh Bhaiya was the most transparent person. I have never seen a trader or investor so transparent. People try to hide their trades. They will try to share because they think it is a weakness you don't want to demonstrate. But yeah, used to always tell me when I was his broker for a long period of time, you review my 7% of the open interest data and then give me unbiased view. the level of transparency, he was so candid. And in fact, on the media term, he used to tell, this is the trade I have taken. I have never seen a transparent person, which clearly indicates that he does not have any sort of complex. A lot of people have complex in the market, they never share these data points. But he was one of the unique person we have met. I have never met a person like him who can be so transparent in terms of sharing a trade. So we have great memories. And as I always say, he was a phenomenal human being, apart from investor and good trader.
Look, my colleague Khushbu, she's at the Bridge Candy Hospital, and what update she has for us. For that, let's go to her. Khushbu, what news do you have for us from the Bridge Candy Hospital?
Yeah, we are at the hospital since morning, where we have seen this is the place where he took his last breaths at the Breach Candy Hospital. Right now, we can see that there's only people are waiting for for his family members and others to pass by, and to other people who may come here take his to see him for the last time. And also many people here because it's being reported that he was brought here early in the morning, and he was not keeping well for the last few months. But in the last 1 week or a week before, only the Akasa Air was launched, and after that also he was not keeping very well. And this is where he breathed his last. We are waiting for more updates from the hospital on the process further, on when he'll be taken outside, when his body will be taken outside for the last visitation for family members and other friends. And that's what the updates are waiting for from the hospital right now. In front of the hospital, the ambulance has reached the hospital to take him to take the body and take him from the hospital to the to his places. But that's the update for now. And everybody's from Prime Minister to Nirmala Sitharaman, everybody has been reporting in the condolences for the big bull of the market who has taken last breath here at Beach Candy Hospital earlier in the morning today.
Now things are exactly as what you had shared with us. We are staring at India like never before.
Absolutely. And people are not realizing it. I wish every Indian felt that. But time is that नास्तिक है उसको आस्तिक मत बनाओ, समय बना देगा.
For an SIP investor, next 2-3 years, is there a probability and a possibility of a double-digit return?
And although difficult to predict, return will be more than 10 times.
RJ Originals, this is perhaps timeless wisdom of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. He has inspired a new generation of stock markets, and his wisdom and his template of understanding risk and taking opportunities, something which will be a template which will be followed by generations to come. He redefined the definition of stock market itself. And if there is one person who in a sense redefined the entire definition of stock market, was Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, by one simple thing, by believing in India and by remaining optimistic. With Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, every time I've interacted with him, it was not whether he's bullish or bearish, it was about his level of bullishness. By keeping it simple, by keeping it easy, by thinking long term, by managing risk, he in a sense has created a different template of stock market investing. There is a reason why his firm's name was Rare, because he was indeed a rare investor and a rare human being. Sunil Singhania, what is that one memory or your most fondest memory which you would like to recall and share with our viewers with Mr. Jhunjhunwala?
Nikunj, actually, there are so many memories, it is very difficult, but, one thing which Bhaiya, obviously brings about memories, he was a learner every day. He never basically came across as someone who would give you the impression of know it all. And, Even when discussions used to happen, he was always there to learn. But one thing which I would always remember is that when I was just starting about my new venture and I went to seek his blessings, he said that if you are confident on yourself and you are investing in India, then sky is the limit. And I think that push and that positiveness, which always came across, I think that gives all of us so much confidence when we set into it. But Nikunj, it's very difficult to remember one thing. I think, but I would say that he was always a learner, and that's the biggest virtue of any successful, human being. Always respect others, always learn from others, and frankly, I don't know what to say. It's really very difficult, but he'll always be there. I don't think he's gone. He'll always be there with us.
Well, we will miss him, but we will not forget him. That is Rakesh Jhunjhunwala for you. Shankar, of all the... Shankar is not there. Sandeep, of all the global stock market gurus and investors and master traders we've studied, either you are an investor or a trader. But Rakesh Jhunjhunwala was an extraordinary investor, but he was an equally smart trader. He in fact has shared with us that the initial capital which he got to invest in the stock market actually came from trading.
Nikunj, is very true, and this is a very rare combination. As you rightly said, people are either successful traders, okay, who are very short term and from a purely made money from trading perspective, or people have made extraordinary money from a long term investment. And so, but this was the unique thing, since I have dealt very closely with him. He was his broker for a long period of time. But one thing I can tell you, Nikunj, he used to maintain his discipline. In fact, never used to specify that, but I have seen a trend. He used to keep his capital for investment separately, and the capital for the trading was very different. And he used to work with a very strict stop losses. That way, a very disciplined guy, and very, very flexible and very agile trader. So, like as Sunil was saying, that he has learned, it was continuous learning process. He always used to listen to others also, the mistakes which he has made. Okay. So I think that was a good part about him, that he used to always respect others also, and he used to take their advice also. And he was very blatant in accepting that he made a mistake. I think that was the key success for Bhaiya. And one unique thing about which we have noticed, both trader as well investor. I think second thing I also want to add, Bhaiya used to celebrate a lot. So it was not about the success or failure. He used to celebrate both the things. And what I have learned from him, it is that success or failure is a binary number, but what is very important is the journey, and he used to always celebrate those moments. So for him, the journey was equally important, and that is one thing which I have learned from him. The journey is very important, irrespective of the outcome.
So I think growth is the priority. I think is the most important thing for the long-term benefit of all Indians, poor, rich, whatever. Second thing I feel is, everybody is emphasizing the jobs that will be created by the kind of investment that is being proposed in infrastructure. I think the government investment is important, and there are going to be far greater private sector. If you look at anybody, Mr. Adani, Mr. Ambani, Mr. Agarwal, Anil Agarwal, right, they all want to invest. And I think it's very important, which nobody has mentioned. Everybody is emphasizing on the expenditure on infrastructure. But what will the expense on infrastructure lead to? It will lead to industry being more competitive and efficient. Let's not forget that. I think that's also a very, very important element of the increase in capital expenditure.
Sunil, I distinctly remember 10 years ago when we all were obsessed with the FI flows into India and domestic institutional investors were selling. Out comes Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, and he said the following: there would be a tsunami of Indian money which will come to India because the India story is so strong. If there is a pretty girl, she will find a suitor. And it is so true now. Sunil?
Nikunj, actually, if you see the millions and millions of investors have been encouraged by, Bhaiya. He always used to say that equity will always give you higher returns. You have to believe in India as a story. You have to ensure that your systematic investment plans continuously keep on coming. And as you rightly said, he used to always say that if the girl is pretty, there will be a lot of suitors, and I think that is what has happened. I think the whole development of mutual fund industry, and we have seen it in such close quarters, right? 20 years back, I used to interact with him, and he used to always say that the domestic investors are definitely going to come. And I think it was people like him who kept on encouraging. We have seen so many challenges in the market, but here was a voice who would come, solace, and in challenging times, you need someone who can at least give you that confidence to stay invested. And I think I would say hats off to him, and he was the pillar of the entire growth of the equity cult in India, along with a few others. But I think as far as the investor is concerned, he would be 1 to 10 in terms of encouraging millions and millions of Indian investors. And I'm sure that his words will keep on encouraging even the future investors to believe in the India story and remain long-term investors.
Rakesh Jhunjhunwala wants to go easy on trading. He does not want to trade as aggressively as he did, let's say, couple
But
of
I
years ago.
always used to, I have felt that for the last 25 years, कि क्या करो अभी छोड़ दो ट्रेडिंग में, वो छुट्टी नहीं.
Once a trader, always a trader. Sandeep, before I wrap the show, let's get closing comments from you.
I think definitely it's a great loss for all of us and the financial community in general, because he was a true legend, who has really inspired a lot of people about wealth creation, and he has attracted a lot of retail investor to this market. So he has played a very important role in the equity cult. If people talk about Dhirubhai as a guy who brought equity cult to this country, I think apart from Dhirubhai, if I can remember anybody who has done that, okay, it is Mr. Bhaiya only. Okay, so it's Rakesh Jhunjhunwala who has taught all these things. So he's a really true legend apart from great human being. So he has done a lot of things for this country and for capital market, and I think we owe that. It should be a great tribute for him if you remain invested in long-term pieces that Bhaiya used to do. So I really don't have much word to say beyond this.
Well, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala was a true legend. And I mean it when I said it at the beginning of the show, that if a pantheon of great investors is ever to be made, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's name will truly find its place on the pedestal. An extraordinary human being, a true stock market legend, someone who always believed in India, redefined the template of stock market investing. His ability to look at the big picture was extraordinary, but the sharpness with which he was able to also predict the short-term market mood was also extraordinary. For me, personally, he was a great friend, a mentor, someone whom I always relied on for timely advice and guidance. Bhaiya, I will miss you. India will miss you, but we will not forget your wisdom. India may have lost its crown jewel of stock market, but his wisdom, his words, and his message that the best for India is yet to come, I'm sure will inspire generations to come. Here's wishing and hoping and praying that his soul rest in peace, and a sincere condolence to the entire Jhunjhunwala family. for the deep loss. Thank you for watching the show. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala wants to go easy on trading. He does not want to trade as aggressively as he did, let's say, couple
But
of
I
years ago.
always used to, I have felt that for the last 25 years कि क्या करो अभी छोड़ दो ट्रेडिंग में वो छुट्टी नहीं.
Once a trader, always a trader.